Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Alex Dvorkin and I'm a managing partner at 4D Capital. Today is a very quick update on one of the stocks we've been following over the last couple of months. You can go ahead and find a really detailed update and analysis on this particular stock, which is Moderna. The ticker is MRNA. And please search our YouTube channel for that particular video, where we analyze it in much greater detail than what I'm going to be doing today. And the reason I wanted to bring it up today is because it is hitting into our projected low point. And as that original analysis indicated, we anticipate an important bottom in the stock very soon. As a matter of fact, as we speak, well, let me correct myself here, not as we speak, but we are within the time window associated with this particular bottom. So I'm in no way saying that the bottom is going to occur today. But we have reached into our both time and price variable margin of error associated with this particular stock, and we should anticipate the bottom very soon. Now, one of the calculations that we use in three-dimensional space produces one of the lines, and typically these lines are very accurate in terms of identifying both the time and the price variable. And as you can see, we are hitting into this particular line as we speak. Now, there's a certain margin of error associated with this, with these calculations, so it doesn't necessarily mean that as soon as we hit into the line, the stock will begin to increase. But very often, when we face situations such as this, that does indeed happen. So, nevertheless, the point I'm trying to make is that we are approaching a very important bottom in this particular stock. I'm not a big fan of the stock. I'm not a big fan of the company because of what happened during COVID and the great poisoning, but nevertheless, I'm not here to make judgments. All I'm doing is simply indicating what various stocks are going to do. And in this particular case, once again, we are hitting into our projected target that we discussed in much greater detail in our previous analysis. So anybody who would be interested in this particular stock should pay attention. Now, we are, well, let me show you some of the things on the previous analysis that I've discussed that were a little bit, not concerning, but a little bit challenging in terms of identifying the exact bottom, which forces to yield the price time calculation. Well, here's our general setup. If you're familiar with our work, you know that these are cycle clusters and cycle composites, right? Associated with it. And the dots you see are three-dimensional time and price targets associated with this particular stock. Now, this is a very simple representation of a number of very complex mathematical concepts. I'm not going to go into detail on them today, but they simply indicate what this particular stock, or in this case, where this particular stock is going to bottom in both time and price. Let me just once again mention that we are within that time window of a potential bottom. Now, the problem with this stock is not great clarity associated with the exact bottom. The line that I showed you is probably the best possible indicator of an exact bottom in both price and time, but we couldn't issue a target that it was more accurate than $20 plus or minus $5. And as you know, we have hit into that bottom, and we are trading with that within that trading parameter. So what I typically suggest in such situations, so often our work will yield exact targets, like let's say $25 plus or minus $1, and we can come in and take very risk-averse positions when the target is reached in both time and price. But in this particular case, this target does not exist. It's more variable in nature, as I mentioned, $20 plus or minus $5. So what I typically suggest is to, if you are, of course, interested in taking a position in this particular stock, is to use what we call a technical entry. And technical entry is basically when the bottom is confirmed in our work, and then the market structures a technical structure that allows us to trigger into a position. So if that is something of interest, if that is something that you would be interested in exploring a little bit more. Now, I need to mention something that I didn't mention earlier, is that we anticipate a significant increase in the stock price within a relatively short period of time. There's a reason why we've identified this particular stock as a fast mover, and once the bottom is put in place, this stock is going to surge. Now, this is something that I talked about a couple of weeks ago, where we witnessing something very similar in terms of a very similar formation in many biotech sector stocks, including the IBB. So it's a little bit concerning of what it says, but once this particular bottom is put in place, technically confirmed, this stock should increase quite substantially going higher. Now, we're issuing a trading update in our service. Our service is available for a 30-day free trial. If that is something you'd like to explore, please go to our website, link at the bottom of the description of this video, and you can request a 30-day free trial. No credit cards, no strings attached, none of that stuff. And then you can see the exact targets associated with this particular position. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for your time. We'll be back with another update tomorrow. Most likely we're going to be looking at United Health and how we were able to pinpoint the exact bottom, at least thus far, and we'll discuss the fact whether or not that was the actual bottom for the stock, at least for the time being. Thank you very much for your time once again, and we'll be back with another update tomorrow. Bye-bye.